Okay, it's 6 p.m. And we are, okay, somehow this practice session is taking some time. Okay, webinar is live. Awesome. So it's 6 p.m. One of the things we really want to do right is to start on time and finish on time. We are starting at 6. This is getting live on each social media, and we will have some friends who will be joining us on Zoom. So we'll take questions from there also. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'm Jatin. I'm the co-founder of ECHI Network. We host a lot of engaging startup growth meetups in 15 countries. Now a lot of things have moved online. But we started in-person meetups in Estonia. The next one is happening next week. And hopefully we'll be able to start meetups everywhere also when situation gets better. So every week we host this startup growth panels where we invite founders of awesome startups to come and share about their growth journeys. The theme for today is consumer tech startups, and we have two amazing folks who have already joined in, and Pankhuri will just be joining in. So we'll do so typically what we want to do is that in every time we have this session, we have one or two folks who from the participants, we invite them and to briefly introduce themselves, and then we'll get started with our session. Hi, Pankhuri.
Hi, Jatin.
Malav, your just brief introduction and what are your expectations? What are you looking for?
Yes, sure. Hello everyone, this side Malo. So I'm working on a startup which is into like creator space, like an all-in-one creator stack. And on weekends, I also work with ECHI for community or like events and stuff. And I'm looking forward, learning about more on what were your challenges and stuff, and also your distribution, like how you are distributing to masses. Like earlier, Jatin Bhai and Kuntal were discussing on scaling up. So like majorly discussing on that part and learning that up to.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Malav. So we'll have some friends who will be watching us live, and we'll take some questions towards the second half of the session. So we'll get started with the introduction. So each of you, if you can briefly give your background and about your firm, so that people get the context about a lot of answers that you will be giving towards the second half of the session. Kuntal.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jatin, first of all, for inviting. I'm Kuntal Shah, and I started my journey back in 2004. I was just a computer engineering graduated, passed out from college, and
Kuntal, you have to unmute yourself.
I started my own company, Digicorp, which is into software consulting space. During Digicorp, we worked with many companies and helped them build their products. We always wanted to build our own products. That is where we tried working on more than 10 products, but none of them worked out, frankly. And in 2016, we decided to fully focus on it. And, we started Cricheroes. And it was started by my colleague and co-founder of Digicorp, Abhishek. And, then due to, we gave it a focus and it picked up really well. In 2018, we also started another company called Vastra, and it is today, number one app for textile apparel manufacturing. And in 2019, we decided that we would be growing these companies rather than building something else. And that is when I started working full-time in Cricheroes, and I am currently leading growth at Cricheroes. And growth means growth in terms of numbers of users, number of matches that gets played, increasing the engagement on the platform, and even increasing the revenue of the platform. So that's a brief about me.
Awesome. And about Cricheroes, just one line
explanation about. Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah, so the tagline says it is your cricket network. So if I'm just telling you that if you are a professional, your professional network is LinkedIn, your social network is Facebook. So if you are someone related to cricket in any ways, your cricket network should be Cricheroes. That is what we are aiming to make it. And today it is the largest cricket network in the world, but we really feel we are very small and there is a lot of headroom to grow.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Kuntal. Mahendra, if you can briefly introduce about yourself and about Matrubharti.
Sure. Thank you, Jatin, and happy to connect again on the ECHI network. It has been our basically the most popular network in Ahmedabad, where we have been connecting to the various entrepreneurs and like-minded people so far. About myself, I'm Mahendra Sharma. I am co-founder and CEO of Matrubharti. Matrubharti is a kind of a social network and a novice to novelist journey for people writing in vernacular languages. Am I audible, guys? Jatin?
Yes, yes, very clearly.
Okay, sure. So about Matrubharti, as I said, it is basically a place where the readers and writers connect. And the good thing is that it is connecting the vernacular writers at one place. And about myself, I have about 20 years of experience in IT domain. Before Matrubharti, I used to be basically the heading the company called Niche Tech, where I'm again a co-founder and CTO, and Nistek is into the software consulting. And as Kuntal said, that these all the software services companies always wish to have their own products, because India has still basically not an edge to develop the great products which are very popular and very basically getting the world's attention. So we are also part of that journey where we have provided software consulting for quite a long period. And post 2015, I have focused on Matrubharti. So Matrubharti has grown from leaps and bounds. About 2.7 million users now Matrubharti's users, readers and writers all together. 100,000 plus writers are writing on Matrubharti. 700,000 plus stories have been shared on Matrubharti, and 1 million plus monthly active users we have. We have started the monetization through subscription and advertisements. And my focus is now increasing the revenue side as well as increasing the engagement on platform in terms of readers, writers, and multiplying this content to different directions, where audio version of the content can be created, where audio visual content like short films and movies are being created. So we are in process of partnering with various production houses, where the text content is now being considered for creating web series, movies, and audiobooks. So that's all about myself.
Thank you so much, Mahendra. Pankhuri, if you can briefly give your background and about Pankhuri. You'll have to unmute and speak up. Yes.
Thanks, Jatin, for having me here. I'm Pankhuri Srivastav. I'm founder of Pankhuri, which is a social community platform for women to get their questions answered around beauty and lifestyle needs through live stream videos. I was earlier founder of Grab House, which was a real estate company. We sold it to Quicker in 2016. Before that, I was working with Teach for India. I did 2 years fellowship over there, post my computer science engineering.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If this was an offline event, I would have asked everybody to clap louder. It creates good energy for everybody. Yes.
Yes.
And those of you watching on social media, you can give a comments or some emojis.
Definitely.
So idea is to talk about consumer tech. And all of you have multiple experiences. That in Kuntal's case, there was a DigiCorp. Mahendra's case, there was a niche tech. And in Pankhuri, you have experience of Grab House and then later Speaker also. So what was that specific problem that problem statement you wanted to solve when you were building Pankhuri or Cricheroes or niche tech or Matrubharti? Pankhuri. So what was that thing that was bugging you then? That's why you decided to start.
Yeah, so I have been in the startup ecosystem since 2013. Myself, I've built 2 products now, and I've also worked with a lot of companies as a marketing consultant. All of these phases sort of made me think that there are very few consumer products which are built for women. And women are always the secondary user, not product thesis is never created around keeping women at the center of the customer persona. And with everything happening on social media and with so many beauty commerce companies scaling up really quickly, especially post-COVID, and with so many D2C brands coming up, I felt that there is huge opportunity over here to sort of act as a place where women can find answers They can find their own network where they could learn from each other and then take much more informed decisions around their purchasing and spending decisions of beauty products, etc. So the idea was to build something very safe and positive for women online to increase adoption of female internet users and as well as their involvement in conversations happening online.
And when you started building that, so you are a developer, you were able to build a platform to begin with, and how did you get those initial 100, 200, first 500 consumers?
So I don't code anymore. I can think of product. I can create wireframes, but I am more of a marketer. I understand consumer insights really well, and some of these things come intuitively to me, which is a gift. Very grateful for it. Initially, because we were creating something which was very different, it was not heard about earlier. It was slightly challenging to explain the concept that this is not a place where you come and buy your lipstick, or this is not a place where you will just, spend your time like you're doing on Instagram, but this is a place where you would become active participants of everything which is happening online. So first you learn, then you ask questions to, doubt clearance, and then you create your own content, or keep sharing with other people. So to begin with, to keep it very simple, we were only on WhatsApp. We didn't start thinking that we need to get people on our product, need to make our app download happen as soon as possible. We said that we are okay to have our users on WhatsApp and create a community over them, show them the value that our product can create for them, and eventually move them to our product. So I think removing that friction that is always there for someone to download a new application or to log in or register somewhere new, we just sort of removed that. And WhatsApp distribution, we all know, is crazy. You have absolutely no friction. There are multiple ways in which you can communicate to your customers on WhatsApp, through groups, through one-on-one chats, through even status. WhatsApp status is so popular that your message just gets amplified everywhere. So using everything which was out there on social platforms to first build a relationship with the user, earn their trust, and then tell them that for a much enhanced experience, download our app.
Yeah, brilliant. And when you talk about WhatsApp, so initially you use your personal network, or there was some boost from some existing networks to communicate?
I actually spent 2 years before I launched the product on just researching and gathering insights from the target audience. Initially, thankfully, I have a lot of female friends, so they were the first set of users. They were able to give me very candid feedback, which I was able to incorporate. And thankfully, my friends come from all sorts of background, my school friends. I'm from a small town, Jhansi in Uttar Pradesh. So very different kind of friends over there. And then, in college, very different friends. They're all working in IT companies now. Some of them are on site somewhere else. So again, a very different perspective. Then the friends that I made throughout my professional journey also looked at it from a very different lens. So it was very good to reach out to my personal network, to my girlfriends, and get their feedback, quickly incorporate that, and then open it up for public. But you always need to find those early adopters. So women whom I could, sort of talk to initially really easily were the first users, because then they felt the comfort with me as well to tell what is their expectation. And the idea over there is to manifest the expectations of our users only.
Correct. Kuntal, in your case, you briefly mentioned about that. What was the key insight for Cricheroes, and how did you get those initial 500,000 consumers?
Sure. So I think initial day, I was not like Abhishek. The major problem that he was facing, he's an active cricketer. I'm not an active cricketer. But the problem that they used to face is, after any cricket match, they did not have any data to play with. They always had that, तूने ये catch अगर कर लिया होता तो we could have won the match. Or यार तू form में नहीं लग रहा है. So those kind of discussions happen, but there is nothing to back it up. Another thing is paper-based scoring had a lot of trouble. Like let's say, अगर आपने if any of you have played cricket anytime, on that paper-based score sheet, you have to update at 3 places. And if there is some mistake, then it is very hard to rectify. So those were the problems in initial day. Now, the first match got scored around October 2016. And, we were, as you know, we worked on 10 years before, and this was the 11th one. But we never had idea of how to keep getting traction. The only thing to do is building a solid product, building a product that users love. Now, what happened in Cricheroes cases, first match which got scored was an inter-university tournament, which was played in Ahmedabad. Right. So what happened is suddenly, we were scoring on the ground, like let's say Abhishek, Meet, and few of the earlier team members, they were all on the ground scoring the match. And with one match, we at least got 100 users. So just in day 1 or 5 days, we had 500 users on the app. And they started asking, where can I see the scores? So we were not ready for that. We just built something where you can score. So then suddenly we had to build up some web version which they can check the scores. And then those 22 players, wherever they were, like those 500 players, wherever they go, they got us with them. So initially, growing that number until today, like today we are 9 million registered users, and 95 to 99% of growth has happened in this. And we had to keep focusing on only 2 things, building a solid product and giving a world-class support. We kept doing this, and word of mouth has worked really well for us, because certain products are inherently sticky and they have this word of mouth built into them. Like our workflow allows us to do that very well. So we have been lucky in that way, but we had to do a lot of work to keep a product which is easy for users and keep giving them better support.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kuntal. Mahendra, in your case, the key hypothesis that you had, and how did you get those initial 500,000 consumers?
Sure. So it basically Matrubharti is not only just a technology product, it is there's a passion and there was a need behind it. And the need was my own need, because I've been writing since school time. So I was writing poems, stories, articles and all. And I was connected with a group of people, those who were writing, they were organizing certain events in the city, and they were gathering. And the one common thing which we got to know, which I got to know personally from all of them, is the problem of getting published, sort of problem of getting basically known to the community as an author. So, and that was the problem with me also, that while writing something and not getting known and not getting published is something like you have a basically bat, you have a skill, you are a Sachin Tendulkar yourself within, but you don't get a chance to play. So it is basically the problem where we started working on. And basically I've been a technical guy since the beginning of the career. I have developed softwares, I have managed software. So that's where we started building basically a POC kind of a thing. Earlier we started with the Gujarati Pride, as you know. The Gujarati Pride was the product where we promoted that if you want to publish your poems or stories, send it to us by email and we will publish. And it is in Gujarati language first. So we were getting a lot of content, and we had a very basically loose ends in the technology. So we had to manually update the app, we had to manually upload the content. And from there, we, while doing manually to it, we were getting hundreds of poems and tens of stories every day. So we thought to shift from a loose end technology to a better technology. We took some time and told some people that, okay, why don't you hold it? And we will send you a link where you can upload on your own. So you don't have to wait for our emails response. You don't have to wait for our call that your content is being uploaded or your content is on hold. So we took some time. We created a bit more tech product, which was allowing people to register, post their content on their own. And that's where within my own network, I had about 500 plus authors and poets, those who were writing. So the moment I shared it on Facebook, that okay, now we have Matrubharti where the content could be posted by your own. The things started rolling out. People's the word of mouth is the best thing, best publicity to have. So the word of mouth started spreading, and basically people started saying કે ભાઈ ગુજરાતી pride વાળાએ હવે નવી પ્રોડક્ટ બહાર પાડી છે, upload કરો. અને upload કરો is like people started sharing on Facebook one by other, and upload started. First 500 users were within the span of about 10 days, and first 10,000 users were within the span of 2 months. So that's how the things started rolling out. And during that uh, content upload and displaying that content, we had plenty of challenges. So those challenges were technical, those challenges were administrative. But the good thing was that without us spending a single rupee, 2 months, 10,000 users was something very exciting that kept us motivated to run this for the community and add more languages to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mahendra. I'll have one more round of questions, then we'll take some of the participant questions. Those of you are with us on Zoom, in case if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. I'll bring you on stage. And those of you are watching us on social media, you can ask those questions in the comments. So Pankhuri, just adding on to that question. So you identify a hypothesis, you start a product, and there are users. Then after some time, you would want to scale up. And the earlier users, there would be a churn, and you would have exhausted your personal network, and you'll have to figure out different distribution ways. So in your case, which are those ways that really worked for you, that really help you take to the next level? You'll have to unmute and speak up.
Yeah. I think social has sort of changed everything for us. It has revolutionized the way we interact. Like even today, we have so many people joining on different social media platforms. I think for all the brands and products, it is important these days to identify which social channel will be most effective for your value proposition and for the customers that you are targeting. And in our case, because it's a beauty space, Instagram made more sense. We were active on Instagram. We started looking at some of the Instagram growth strategies and posting a lot of content over there. Content marketing, I think, is the easiest way. And like Mahendra was also saying that, it sort of became a thing to be shared on Facebook, and people loved sharing their accomplishments. So the sooner you make opportunities on your platform, no matter how small or big you are, for people to start coming and sharing their achievements. And that could be a tangible or intangible achievement also, right? That you've published a story is a tangible thing. In our case, you were able to learn something from a beauty expert is also an achievement, that you finished a workshop. So giving opportunities in the product itself, those capabilities to share your success and failure, mostly success on social media, gets that loop going where you are posting content and then you're getting a lot of content generated from your users as well, no matter what the size is. Even if 100 people share that, this is what I was able to accomplish using this platform, then that's a lot of amplification for your brand. So we started doing that on Instagram, featuring our early users on the platform, getting them to share their stories, their feelings about the product, and then taking it forward from there. So I think I'm a person who's obsessed with customers, and customers are at the heart of everything that we build. When we are in a position where no one is able to take a decision, we sort of go back to a set of our users and take that as the verdict, that this is what we will be doing. So keeping that mindset right from the beginning, build a relationship of a friend with our customers, that they could, reach out to us. And it's easier, much easier when you are a smaller company that, you have direct communication channels with your customers. As you scale, that becomes challenging. It would go through multiple people, multiple channels. Your focus might be something else. But initially, that is something that is like gold mine. It's an important currency. So if we could focus on it more, and that's what we try to do then on Instagram as well, YouTube as well, Facebook. Social sort of is our fuel for acquisition, and early growth was completely on that.
Correct. Awesome. Kuntal, in your case, what were those key choices you made or key partnerships that really happened that really took Cricheroes to the next level?
Sure. As I told before that, word of mouth has worked really well. But we tried a lot of things. Like, let's say, as Pankhuri said, we also tried doing ads on social media and all. One key insight that we found is, one of our target audience was tournament organizers who organize cricket tournament. And so what happens is we have to be very clear to reach them at the right point in time. They are not always in the mode of organizing tournaments. So we have to reach them when they are going to do it. So ads did not work really well for us. We tried multiple things. What is working out for us right now is, one thing is we entering in a new region is always a challenge for us. Like, let's say today, if I talk about India, we are not having a good presence, like, let's say, in South. So what we do is we try to do a two-way approach. Is what we call top-down approach, whereby we try and connect to cricket associations in that region. And it's a kind of enterprise sales. Like, let's say we have to connect to the officials, and then we have to go through the whole hierarchy, and we can get an association on board at the end of 6 to 12 months. Second thing, what we do is we try to reach out to the scorers from our network. Like, let's say we ask scorer from Gujarat that, hey, do you have any connection in Kerala? Do you have any connection in this? So these are two outreach that happens for us. They have been working pretty well because most of the users are very happy with Cricheroes, and they are easily getting us to the next regions. Another two things which really work at a scale. These two things don't work at a scale. Like, let's say they are primarily dependent on human touch. But other two things is we keep recognizing players. Like, let's say if you are on Cricheroes for probably, like, let's say, playing for 3 years, then we recognize you saying that, hey, you have achieved this milestone. Like, let's say you have completed your first 1,000 runs on cricket. So this recognition brings us loyalty of that user, and he shares it on various platforms. So that recognition has really worked well for us, right? And another thing is what every one of us knows is we get a lot of product-led growth. So we can put a lot of nudges in the product that helps us grow to the next level. So these are few things that has worked for us. We have tried many things that did not work as well.
Okay, awesome. Mahendra, in your case, you mentioned that you had 10,000 users within a very short span. So more users will have more churn.
Right.
So in the initial phase, what was the churn, or people who just started, they were anyways using the product, or what was the key insights that you got that helped you build newer products or getting into newer categories? Please.
Right. First of all, I would like to appreciate Kuntal, because when he said that a lot of things don't work, right, that it takes a lot of courage to say that, because people celebrate their success, people don't tell about their failures. And in the journey of startups, 90% of the things, 80% of the things don't work. Only things, those who work, they compensate for another 80% or 90% of that. So thanks for saying that. And that has happened in our case also. Many things have not worked, and many challenges we have faced during the growth period. Like when we said 10,000 people joined in 2 months, and next month another about 6,000 people dropped also. And why they dropped? Because they joined Matrubharti to read some elite authors, and we had some new comers only. We were supporting and we were promoting the new authors. So a lot of content was being submitted and promoted by the new authors. The people, those who joined, they assumed that we will read the elite and established authors. They couldn't find it, so they left bad reviews, and they left the platform also. That basically given us a food for thought, that what should we promote and what should we work on our tagline, what should we work on the strategy, where we don't get the false assumptions, we get the loyal writers. So the first thing, we focused only on the authors, that let them push their content as much and as easy as possible, as many languages as possible, so more content comes. And these authors are the brand ambassadors, because they are the first time publishers. They are publishing their content first time on a public platform. So they were sharing on Facebook, they were sharing on the whatever possible social media they had access to, and that brought a lot of users without putting a lot of money towards the marketing. And basically the strategy was online and offline always. Wanted to ensure that we are a brand in a whole 360 degree, not just an online brand. So we always participated in book fairs, literature festivals across India. We went to all possible avenues where we could be appearing and showing our face. And that has helped us. Those people, those who are not even on Matrubharti or have not published their stories, they know us, that these are the people who are promoting the literature in regional languages. So that has helped a lot. We have sent letters, and where those letters and the addresses came. So we subscribe to many magazines where the writers publish their content. And those magazines coming to our office, what we were doing, we were pulling out the data from those magazines, the authors, basically the addresses, physical addresses. Why physical addresses and why not email? Because not many people in smaller basically areas, especially our target area is the tier 2, tier 3 cities, the villages. Not many people are well versed with emails and all. So what we did is we wrote and basically prepared the letters and sent to those authors, because when the letter comes, it always gives a feeling that someone came to me personalized, and it gives them a kind of a pride when a letter comes from Matrubharti, because the way of writing the letter was also very interesting. We worked a lot on creating that content also. So when they were receiving such a letter, they were immediately calling back and saying कि आपका पत्र मिला, पढ़ के बहुत खुशी आनंद हुआ कि आप जो है हिंदी लिटरेचर या गुजराती लिटरेचर, जो भी लिटरेचर है, उसको इतना सम्मान दे रहे हैं, कहिए क्या कर सकते हैं आपके लिए. So that is itself bringing the respect as well as the confidence of the users, and that has worked very well for us. Those letters brought authors, those authors brought readers, and we have focused that that if there are queries from the authors, those have to be immediately resolved within less than 24 hours. If it is to be finished in 24 minutes, should be done that way. And that basically has helped to retain the users, because they have the right expectation from us. We are giving what they want, and gradually we shifted our strategy to bring some elite authors also, because having elite authors believing on a platform also inspires a lot of people that okay, these are very serious guys, and they are not only publishing from the newbies, they are publishing from the elite, and elite is believing on their platform, because their belief on a new startup is also a challenge for startups, that how to bring elite people to believe in you. And we have always been on a requesting mode कि सर आपका थोड़ा कंटेंट आ जाए तो हमारे लिए सौभाग्य की बात होगी. And that has helped a lot, that has worked. And basically those well-known people have also helped us to promote this platform, and that has brought more readers.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mahendra. So one of the things we do when we have this panels is that we have a section where we have panelists ask questions to each other. So Kuntal, if you were to ask question to Pankhuri or Mahindra or both, what would be your question?
Sure. So Jatin, I just wanted to say one thing before I move to that question. One thing I like, I learned, and which is very important for everyone, listening to this, is, when should you start thinking about growth? We all answered that what worked for us or what channel worked for us. I read a few years back, there is a playbook given by Y Combinator, and they tell two things very clearly. That first is you should have a product market fit, and second is you should have a good retention. Then and only then you should start thinking or invest in growth. Right. So that is one thing I wanted to mention. Now coming to question, probably Mahendra, by what you said is this startup also brings a lot of humility to the founders. Like let's say you said, हमें सबके साथ जाके request करना पड़ता ना. Okay, so a common question could be, Mahendra bhai, I know that you are in this journey for a long time now, and Pankhuri also, I can say she's a serial entrepreneur. Like one product already done, and she's already on the second product. So how do you both maintain the focus? Because as a startup founder, you always have a lot of learning things, as well as you have those 5-10 years plan in front of you. So how do you live your today?
Okay, good question. Give a short answer so we can complete the circle of everybody asking
Sure.
questions to each other.
Sure.
And then
Sure.
will respond.
Very good question, Kuntal. It is always difficult to keep the eye on the burning issues today and keeping the plan intact, which is of long term. And it has to be basically, with being a startup, there are always challenges that you have a small team, you have a lot of things to do, a lot of people are expecting. When from the customer's perspective, if we look at our company, they would, in their mind, is thinking that we have 50, 100 people working on this, and at the same end, we are 10 people only. So daily operations take a lot of time, a lot of pain, and at the same time, we what I do personally is that keep a time aside for a thought process. So me and my partner, we have a separate time. So for example, we take dinner together or we take lunch together. So during that time, either of the or we take both together in the office itself to spend some time on the long-term goals. And during those lunchtime or the dinner time, we discuss the context and we give targets to each other that okay, what this is the bigger picture. What is the role of you and what is the role of me to produce the output out of that? If it is a technical outcome, obviously I have to produce. If it is a finance, if it is something from the networking and the B2B side, my partner has to focus on it. So we give targets to each other and we work on it, and then we take review on the next day on the lunch or on the next day on the dinner. And at the same time, while the team is present, the day-to-day issues, the day-to-day plans of releasing a product or basically initiating a campaign or discussing with the team itself, it happens during the working hours, that basically about 5 to 7 hours a day.
Awesome. Pankhuri? You'll have to unmute. Yeah.
Getting this, yeah. I think that backwards planning, once you've set your goals, short term and long term, that should take some of your focus and effort initially. And in startups, speed is the most important thing. So having like 2-3 goals, North Star metrics, is important so that everyone is aligned towards that. So even if people come up with new ideas or if there is something else that looks like a distraction or maybe might be a good idea to explore, a good litmus test is to always see whether it is aligned to your North Star metrics or not. Will it move the needle or not? And if it doesn't, then probably bookmark it for later when you have leisure time.
Yeah.
Mahendra, your question for Pankhuri or Kuntal or both?
Right. So, Pankhuri, my question to you is, like, we see social commerce taking a lot of attention nowadays. SimSim, the social commerce video, got acquired recently. So, you got acquired by YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
So, what's your plan moving forward? Which international model you want to replicate, or is there some model which you are planning to?
Yeah, so I think the time of replicating an international model has kind of gone out now. We have to build for India, for Bharat. So it has to be ground up, built from scratch. The cultural nuances are so different from any other country, and we're such a diverse country that it cannot be one shoe fits all, or let's just replicate and make a copycat of something which is working in the Western markets. Therefore, spending a lot of time with customers is important, like I was saying in my previous answer as well, to understand and take their feedback quickly. Social commerce has become such a big thing because it is bringing trust, which was lacking in e-commerce 1.0, that it solved the convenience problem, it solved the discovery problem, but it didn't build trust. There are still people in tier 2, 3 cities of our country where they say that, even from the top e-commerce platforms, you'll get fake products. In fact, I was in a Delhi market and one of the shopkeepers told me, I was negotiating, I was bargaining. I told him that this will be cheaper on some e-commerce platform, and he said that you get everything fake over there. So that's the general belief in most of the cities. So social commerce is solving for that trust. Everyone is sort of taking very different approach to it. Some people are using influencers, some people are building communities around it. We are taking a hybrid approach where we are bringing experts who know their area quite well, and then bringing in a lot of elements of social interactions, virtually of course, to ensure that we are able to first push knowledge, second build trust, and third do commerce.
Awesome. And Pankhuri, your question for Kuntal or Mahendra or both?
Yeah, so actually to both, you both are doing very interesting things, but we also have like very large companies in this domain who are just killing it. So that sort of becomes, always a point of contention, that how do you scale up when you already have such a big player which is doing really well? Then how do you plan your coming few months, and how do you attract talent when there is so much happening in a bigger player? So anyone who would be interested in working in this would want to work at a larger player office. So how do you plan scaling this up?
Kuntal.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
Mahendra.
Okay, so Pankhuri, first thing is obviously there are larger players in the market. The good thing for us is our positioning is really niche. What happens is in cricket, you see a lot of companies around international cricket, and they are taking, like, showing scores of international cricket matches, or they are in fantasy. These are too broad. Like, there are content companies around international cricket, and there are fantasy games. There is no one who is actually talking about the grassroots cricketers. There are other companies who are, going to coaches or academies, or, but they are more on B2B side. So that way, so far, our cricket network or B2C positioning has really worked well. And what has happened is we have kept hammering out the ideas which were, like, let's say, why are we not scoring international match? Or why are we not doing fantasy and international match? We don't want to do it because we are very clear that we are for the grassroots cricketers. So that has so far positioned us well. And that way, currently, we are in a little bit of white space. There are players who are following us. There are other companies like, there is a company called Cricheroes or someone. They are trying to imitate the features that we do. So that is one thing. And apart from that, scaling team. So, frankly, scaling up tech team is very challenging today. We are doing a lot of work around it, but adding one more developer in the team, is looking really impossible. Permanent work from home, MNC, and, never heard of offer. This is what we keep hearing. So
KTL
I don't know.
supervised.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know when this madness is going to end. Apart from that, like 50% of our company is tech and 50% is, you can say, cricket company. So that is where we have been very lucky that many players who want to be in the game, and we have become a very good choice for them. Right. So that way, hiring for those roles have been really, we are very lucky that we are getting inbound leads, we are getting good people, and they are actually doing extraordinary work. Most of they are delighting our customers. So that part has been scaling really well. Yeah, over to you, Mahendra.
Sure. Thank you very much, Kuntal. So, from the Matrubharti's perspective, yes, basically there are international players and they have created their own market. From the uniqueness point of view, there are very few players in regional content, especially the regional text content. And many people have tried and many people have left also. Many people have basically started, couldn't scale. So they have basically shut down or they have put it on on a non-growth model. But while in case of Matrubharti, our focus is very sharp on our two kind of users. There are authors or there are readers. What best could be done for the authors? What do they want? And I believe we have been successful understanding their psychology, that what do they expect from Matrubharti. So they expect that whatever content they are publishing, that has been consumed and that has been reviewed by the readers. And similarly, the readers are expecting us to have a consistency in a variety of the content, and that too in their own language. And in the both side, our job is to match them with technology, with our efforts. And authors have been successfully achieving their milestones of getting 1 million downloads, getting more than 1 million downloads of their content. So that has what and basically worked very well, that the consistency of writing. So for example, if somebody wants to publish their novel but that has not been completed yet, and he is in a process of writing, but during the process of writing he wants to take the feedback. So on Matrubharti they are publishing episodically. So each episode is being released every week, or a couple of episodes are being released every week, and that has not been provided by a lot many international players. And that too publishing free, like somebody connecting with the author during the writing phase is something very new, because most of the readers in the world connect to the content only when it is finished, when it is basically in a form of book or an ebook. So that has
And
worked very well.
in
Our
terms
focus
of
on
in
readers.
terms of hiring, Mahendra, in terms of hiring, is problem solved, or you are also facing problem in building a team?
So hiring, as Kuntal said, same pinch. Hiring
He's
technical
finding
guys is
he's,
always
he's
a challenge.
finding developers who love cricket. So for him that problem is solved. Are authors getting into coding?
Yes. And we have coders who are writers also.
Yes.
So, Jatin, people love cricket or language, but they love money more. ऐसा हो जाता है. उनके पास offer ही ऐसे होते हैं.
Awesome. So 6:48. We want to do a rapid fire. So try to give 1 or 2 line answers so that I can complete 5-6 cycles. Pankhuri, in your case, you built the earlier company. So what was 2 things? What was that you picked up from that and that you are applying in your current venture? And what is that you didn't pick up and you are not applying?
Yeah, so I think having laser sharp focus on what you want to build and quickly scale up and get the right team together to start working on it is what I've learned from my previous experience. Um, giving in to all of these demands that we are right now seeing, the market in which we are, I've been through that. Sort of a deja vu feeling. This happened during 2015 as well. So my biggest learning is, which I'm not doing now, is I'm not going to concede to all of this, and the market comes back to normal. It's a cycle, so you just have to wait and be very wise around your spends at this time. So.
Awesome. And Kuntal, pretty much a similar question from DigiCorp. What is that one thing you picked up from DigiCorp? What is one thing you are not doing, which you used to do at DigiCorp?
Yeah. So I think I have a very brief answer. I picked up culture and communication from DigiCorp that we built really well. And what I did not pick up, like we did not focus a lot on a continuous growth. We remained pretty stagnant for years. So that is what I did not pick up.
Okay, awesome. Mahendra.
Yes, so I didn't pick up from niche tech is the multitasking thing, that working on too many projects on the same day. Rather, you focus on one thing, finish that, have a successful hand, and move to other. So that is the Matrubharti sharp focus thing. The one thing which I picked up is the commitment and that whatever you do is do it right, and do it with satisfaction of the other party, that is the customer.
Yep. And entrepreneurship is a very humbling experience. On one side, we get awards, we get featured everywhere. On the other side, we have to take favors. So which is the most recent favor you have to ask from someone, apart from your immediate team members? Pankhuri.
Favors. I think I'm asking favors every single hour. I'm asking someone to interview someone or recommend someone, or even, to help us with something where the team is stuck. All the time asking favors.
Okay, awesome. Kuntal, any one specific one that you could share?
Yeah, so what I want, like, as you all know, startup is a very unknown journey. Like you don't know anything. So what I keep doing now on Twitter, I find someone who is working in growth and I ask them that, would you like to share your experiences? Because with peer experiences, we learn a lot. So I keep asking favor that if you are like, I have few ideas, let us get on a call and exchange ideas. That is what I keep doing.
Okay, awesome. Mahendra.
Yeah, if you know some VC, let me know.
Okay. Talking about VCs, Pankhuri, congratulations. Last week there were a lot of news about Pankhuri. You raised good amount of seed funding. In your experience, what would be your advice to startup founders? If they would want to raise funds, or what are the things they should take care of now that you've gone through the multiple cycles of raising funds?
Yeah. I think that develop insights that no one can challenge you on. Be a master of the industry for which you are building. Understand your target audience so well that if someone gives you an advice about, or a feedback, or some sort of insight about your target audience, you can add on to that. That really builds your credibility, because that is all that we can claim. Everything else is can change. Today you pivot businesses, you change people, teams, success metrics also change. The one thing that doesn't change is that how well do you understand the market in which you are building and for whom are you building. And if you are a master in that, then you will get a lot of favors. You will be able to get the right people to believe in what you are building.
Okay, awesome. So one by one, I'll ask this. If everything happens the way you imagine it would be, and if we do the similar session in 2031, then in that case, how would you describe your company?
How would I describe the company?
In 2031, everything has worked out.
2031, so 10 years down the line.
Yes.
Okay, then every woman on planet Earth would be a part of a community on Pankhuri.
Awesome, brilliant. Kuntal.
Just change every woman to every cricketer and Pankhuri to cricket. No, frankly, Pankhuri say, she said it really well that I could use her words. Yeah.
Okay, Mahendra.
Yeah, to become the basically the biggest, basically the content company having presence across the world in different languages, about all languages. That is what we believe. The another Marvel studio or a Disney studio having content rights of all the characters we produce.
Awesome. And वो
Wow.
बोलते हैं ना कि अकल बदाम खाने से नहीं आती, ठोकर खाने से आती है. तो in your case आपको कौन सी ठोकर लगी थी और वो ठोकर से क्या सीखे आप? So what was any one specific anecdote you may want to share like that that didn't work out and you learned something from that? Pankhuri.
To hire a wrong person, it takes a lot of time to take them out of the system. And initially, I used to be covered with a lot of fear that what would be the image, and especially, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to present a picture that you're bossy and etc. So you're caught in the middle of that. But I think that the learning from there is that we have to do what is best for the company. And even if it means that sometimes you have to take harsh decisions, the faster you take them, the damage is controlled or less. So forget about what image are you sending, do what is right.
Kuntal.
Yeah, so this probably happens to each of us. एक बहुत ही अच्छा idea आता है. Don't start acting on it right away. At least give it a good night's sleep, think over it, and only then do it.
Yeah, sleep
Most
over.
of the ideas will get filtered out.
Yep. Mahendra.
Yeah, so my advice is like ठोकर हमें लगी going after free things. A lot of free things are offered to startups. Don't go after it if that is not fitting into your culture or your technology. Say we went for a free Google hosting. A lot of credits, about 10-15 lakh rupees of credits were given to us as a startup program. We shifted and we fall on face. Like our site was down for 12 hours in 2018 due to accessing a free credit, and which was not suitable to our technology. So I would never go after free things before then after.
Yes, awesome. And as a founder, we need to upgrade ourselves so that we lead the company that we actually built. So Pankhuri, what is that one specific skill that where you put in a conscious effort to get better at?
I get better at understanding people better because that is what I do throughout the day. All day, especially now, we're always in front of this camera and we're always acting as a salesperson. We're selling something or the other, either to a new employee, existing employees, potential employees, other stakeholders, investors, partners. So the better you understand them, what do they want to achieve in life? What drives them? Would they be the right fit for what you are trying to aim for? I hope I can become better at it.
Okay, awesome. Kuntal, which is that one thing you put in a conscious effort to get better at? Kuntal. Till the time Kuntal comes back,
So
I just.
You there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
You
I'm here. I don't.
He's actually on a vacation in Lonavala, so there would be a network problem.
No. I'm actually there. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah.
I cracked a joke, but that was a poor joke. So Kuntal, what is that one thing that you really put in a conscious effort to learn or get better at?
Sure. So I, writing and storytelling.
Okay. Mahendra?
Yeah. So we basically constantly I keep an eye on the content trends, that what content is being getting very popular, going viral, and how to monetize from that content. That's the constant focus, and I keep on watching and trying to implement those in the product.
Okay, awesome. It's 6:58. So ending with Zoom calls is very awkward. So what we do is that I ask the question, and the moment last person answers that question, I immediately close the call. So the question is, and this question kind of people ask towards the end of the career, but I'll take a chance and ask during the journey of your career. So the question is, if you were to describe your entrepreneurial journey in one or two words, what would that be? Pankhuri, you will be the last. The moment you answer, I'll close the call. Mahendra.
So it has been a learning and leading from front. That has been my journey.
Awesome. Kundal?
New challenges every day and leading from front as Mahendra.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this moment. Pankhuri answers. I'll close the call, and you can check out our website and videos, and everyone is tagged, so you can get connected with all of them. Pankhuri, your answer, and I'll close the call.
A roller coaster ride.
Awesome. We actually do a video series called Startup Roller Coaster, where we ask these two questions only. You tell the happiest moment and the challenging moment. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you
Okay,
soon,
thank
hopefully
you.
in person.
Thank you.